This week, we're just covering a couple final chapters in the book. One deals with transaction processing, and it is very short. The other one deals with database security, and it is a little bit longer. Each of the chapters does have a textbook assignment. There is no lab assignment. For chapter 16, you'll want to read it in the book. The lecture demo is super short because there's just not a lot on transaction processing. It's kind of a simple concept in a way. So you can read through here. It talks about the syntax. It does give you some examples that you can look at. It talks about concurrency and data locking, which are actually pretty important concepts. Concurrency is when two or more people are trying to access the same row. And data locking basically deals with if you're doing an update, if the table and the row are locked, then nobody else can access it. Okay, and there are lots of different scenarios that can happen, but it could be that you have a transaction that you're processing and it needs a resource that someone else needs, and you're locking each other's, which is called a deadlock. So you can kind of read through these little issues that happen when you have multiple people accessing the same data. Once you finish with the lecture demo, you'll go ahead and go through the textbook assignment. And as I mentioned, this is super short. This one video includes all of the exercises, and there's just a couple that you have to complete in here. Then you will go through database security. And you'll read through the book and the lecture demo. There is quite a bit more information in here that you need to absorb. Pay a special attention to the commands that you use that give people access to resources or take the access away. So grant and revoke are two commands that you need to pay attention to. You will be practicing using those in the textbook assignment. So you'll read through here, and then to help solidify the information that's in that chapter, you're going to go through the textbook assignment where you're actually going to be adding users and giving them access to resources. And so here is an example database that you are going to download and extract and then open and run. If that is an issue for you, you can certainly copy and paste this text. Okay, so we have lots of tables, and then we've got data that's going to be added to those tables. And then once you do that, you will be copying some information into a new database that you are creating. You'll be creating some users for that database. And as you work through here, you will be giving the different users different levels of access to the data. You'll be granting them permission. You'll be revoking permission from the users. You will actually be creating schemas. And so far, the only schema we've been using is DBO, but you can actually name schemas whatever you want. So you'll be working more with schemas, and you will understand the advantage of using schemas, especially when it comes to giving users permissions, because you can give them permission on the schema level, which is kind of helpful. So as you go through here, I think this is going to solidify a lot of the concepts that are in this chapter. Then we have our last unit test. And finally, we have the project showcase. So at this point, you completed your project last week. So this is just a matter of updating your slideshow and adding in that last little section that we've completed. So you should be adding in your summary, queries, your views, and then the stored procedures, functions, and triggers. So you'll add those slides onto the end. You'll do some reflection, addressing the key points here, converting your slideshow over into a video, and then you'll be adding that to the discussion. Okay, and that should all be done by the 24th, because we are getting near the end. So again, if you run into problems, have questions, let me know, and have a great week.